up, real estate family? My name is Mr. W and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I'd say it's been a while since I did, face to face. It's definitely been a while, and the reason why is because one, my barber just wasn't around, to be honest, and I just couldn't bear the fact of you guys seeing me looking all scruffy. But as you can see, I'm nice, I'm clean, I'm cut, feeling good, feeling great. So I will be doing a lot of one-to-one videos like this again, because I have been getting a few responses from the audience. Some of them want more of one-to-one, while the others want more behind the screen, the interactive video where I'm really just showing you my thoughts and using my crappy trackpad or my mouse to illustrate some things. So I'm really gonna try and mix things a bit and just ensure that I give you guys as much value as possible. So today's video is inspired by this book, okay? Tools of the Titans by Tim Ferriss. Now, before I actually get into this video, if you're a real estate agent or if you're a real estate broker and you want to achieve two things, if you want to generate more leads and close more deals, then you need to listen up, because I'm going to give you guys the juice. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the juice. And yeah, hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell just so that you're notified each and every single time that I upload, as well as smashing the like button if you get a lot of value from this video. Now, the reason why I wanted to speak about this book, or really speak about routine and habits, is because I've realized over the years working with real estate agents that there's two types of real estate agents. Okay, there's your top producers, and then there's your average producers, or the real estate agents that aren't really doing great. Okay, now what separates the two? Why is there such a gargantuan gap between the top real estate agents and those that aren't doing well? Okay, and it really boils down to routines and habits. Okay, it really boils down to routines and habits. So it's sort of like inputs and outputs. So let me give you an example. So for example, with me, most of my diet, I even say 99.99% of my diet is clean. Okay, I don't eat junk food, I don't consume sugar, I don't consume dairy, I don't consume anything that it would be detrimental to my body. Okay, so I always eat clean, and that's an input. Okay, because it's obviously coming into my body, and I work out. I'm a fan of working out. For those who might be like, really, are you a fan of working out? I mean, if I just had to flex, you'd see, that I do work out, and my body is basically the output, right? It's just basically a product of my inputs. Okay, now I wouldn't have a chiseled, ripped body if I didn't eat clean and if I didn't work out consistently all the time. Okay, so it really is that simple. It's just a simple formula. Whatever you put into your inputs is what's going to come out in your outputs. Okay, it's same thing if you're always going to be eating crap, if you're always going to stress out a lot, what's going to happen towards your output? You're going to look crappy, you're going to feel crappy, you are more susceptible to getting diseases, and diseases like that are just basically signs. They're basically outputs, right? They're just signs of the inputs. They just basically, how do I say this? They're just basically a product of your inputs, right? They're a product of what you've been consuming, a product of what you've been thinking about. If you're consistently stressing out all the time, that's an input that's going into your body, that's harming your body. So now when your body reacts, okay, in a negative way, that's an output. So the same thing applies to, getting success in the real estate industry, okay? What are your inputs? Okay, because I see time and time over again, most real estate agents, they don't necessarily realize these things, is that I can give you guys, I've been giving you guys literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of value, okay, normally that I would charge for consultation, right? I provide that for free on this YouTube channel. And guess what? I know that 99.9% of the real estate agents that are going to be watching my videos, if you are just gonna watch it and not take action and experiment, or just take an idea from what I said and try and implement it in some sort of way, you're still gonna be stuck in where you're at, okay? If you desire to be a six-figure producer, if you desire to be a top producer, or whether you just wanna be a go-to agent, okay, you need to figure out what are you putting into your inputs. You need to figure out your inputs, okay? Because your inputs will ultimately decide, or your inputs will ultimately be the benefiting, or will ultimately be the deciding factor for your outputs. Okay, and look, in the day, I learned a lot from these people, right? So this is basically a book that shows you everything, right, of what top people in life, right? These are basically a lot of people here in this book are successful. They've achieved a lot in life. You learn a lot about their routines. And one thing I can tell you is that a lot of successful people in here meditate. A lot of people who are successful people in here are disciplined. A lot of people who are successful in here follow a routine that works and they focus on things that move the needle forward. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? Top producing agents and people who are quite big in the real estate niche, right? Guys who are really crushing it, they're not special, right? They're human, right? You could just take a knife and stab them, they'll die. They're not superhuman. So what makes them special? What makes them different? Their inputs, okay? It's what they're putting into their inputs, which is basically a product of who they are today, right? A lot of these real estate agents that are really good at what they do, or, you know, good at sales or good at selling homes, you need to understand that they started off with nothing. They knew nobody in the beginning, right? Or they knew nothing, right? They were just like you when you started off, did your exam, you got your license, and they had to learn. The only difference is that they decided to, 1, read a lot of books, 2, learn from top producing agents, and 3, go and execute everything and fail consistently all the time until they figure out what works. Okay, so a lot of you guys, the reason why you're not where you want to be, right, or where you desire to be, is because of your inputs. Okay, if you decide that after a long day at work you're just gonna go home, chill and watch like Netflix reruns, that's your input. Okay, what's gonna happen over the years is that it's gonna compound, right? And what happens is that when basically, you know, interest fees go up, you know, when licensing fees goes up, when the cost of living goes up, what happens is that your salary or your income does this, but now what happens, cost of living does this, right, over time. Okay, and here's the thing, right? The reason why your salary is doing this is because you're not investing in, you know, income producing inputs. Okay, you want to start focusing on building routines. You want to start focusing on, you know, meditating, learning how to clear your mind. You want to start focusing on, you know, what are top producing people doing and how can I implement that into my own blueprint. Okay, if you don't ask yourself those questions, if you're not consistently trying to become better, right, by basically improving your inputs, what's going to happen is that your outputs are either going to help you become a better person, get you to where you need to be, or you're just going to be stagnant, or if anything, you're going to fall off and you're going to be worse, right? You're basically going to be in a position that is more detrimental and more harmful than where you were last year, okay, or a few years ago. Think about it. A lot of people that complain about the government not helping them, about the government, you know, not, you know, pulling up their socks, the government and funding, or, you know, the weather or the industry or interest rates. All those people, to be honest, aren't necessarily successful. I am yet to find a very successful person that complains like that. Maybe you guys have, but I know for a fact that I've never heard a successful person complain about how the government is not helping out with funding, how the government's not doing this for them, how the government's not doing this and that, right? I've never heard that, because successful people are proactive. Successful people focus on their inputs, so they know that their outputs over time, right, over the years, right, will get them to where they desire to be. Think about it. Someone like Albert Einstein, okay? People say, oh, he was a genius, he was smart, he was the smartest person that ever lived. But what you don't realize is that Albert Einstein, okay, is merely someone like me and you, okay? The only difference between Einstein and us is that he focused on his inputs, right? His inputs is what has separated him from everyone else, right? His input is someone like Nikola Tesla. He learned a lot from him, right? He learned his tips, his tricks, his strategies. You know, he studied him for a very long time. So if you're gonna study someone like that, someone as monumental as Nikola Tesla, what happens is that you are automatically going to become, right? Your output is basically either going to become better than him, right? Or you're gonna have your own space in your own, you're gonna basically have your own space in your own niche or your own industry where you become one of the greatest. Okay, so if we're speaking about science, right? Albert Einstein owned that industry, right? Metaphysics and all that stuff, Albert Einstein owned it, okay? And it's all because of his inputs. Think about it. If you had to read science books, if you had to be obsessed with science and experimenting on all those things, what do you think your output is going to be? You're bound to become something within the scientific industry, right? Or within the science industry, and the same applies with real estate, okay? A lot of you guys could be so far right now, but it's because your inputs are slowing you down. And because of that, you're not where you want to be. So my best advice to you today is really start focusing on what are you providing for yourself, right? What are you putting into your inputs? What are your inputs, guys? Honestly, what are your inputs? Because in a year's time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, we'll be able to know what were you investing into your inputs, okay? In 10 years' time, if you're still where you are right now, then I know for a fact that you weren't investing in your inputs, okay? So it's all about where you want to be and where you desire to be. And the vehicle that's gonna get you there is your inputs, okay? And what you do every day. I personally always love to have conversations with people where I ask them what are their habits, like what do they do on a day-to-day basis? What are their routines? Because that tells me the kind of person that you are. It already tells me if you're disciplined. It tells me if you're focused. It tells me if you're gonna be successful one day in life, okay? And it also tells me if whether, you basically have direction, right? It's just simple questions. What do you do every day? What are your habits? If you just go to work and you come back and you're not reading a book, if you're not learning or if you're not focusing on improving yourself, you're gonna stay where you're at for the rest of your life until you decide to change. So Jim Rohn actually has this amazing quote. I love what he says. He basically says that don't wish that things were better, wish that you were better. And that's something that I want to leave to you guys. So if you guys got a lot of value from this, you guys know what you gotta do. Hit the subscribe button as well as liking the video. And I upload videos each and every single day teaching you all about real estate. And let me know what you guys think of the video in the comments below. I just wanted to do something a little bit different today. If you guys don't have the book, I would suggest that you get it. Tools of the Titans by Tim Ferriss. Literally, you'll learn the tactics, routines, habits of billionaires, icons, and world-class performance. Really, I would suggest that you guys get it. Go onto Amazon, guys. Get this book. It's definitely gonna help you become a better real estate agent. But that's it for me, guys. Feels really great, man, being in front of the camera again, So I'm definitely gonna do more videos like this. And enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and see you on the next video.